Good evening. I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, jazz clarinetist and author Tom Sancton with a special performance for us a little bit later, and with quite the illustrious ensemble. Great to see you, Tom.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Poppy Tooker, host of the WWNO radio program Louisiana Eats, also heard statewide and on the internet as well. Great to see you, dear.
You too.
Making a Steppin Out debut. Wow. Flamenco guitarist, author, and attorney Kevin Coleman, here to discuss his brand new book, Different Springs. Great to see you, Kevin.
Good
Welcome.
To see you. Thank you.
All right. And he's going to be performing for us a little later, too. So we're thrilled about that. And also, Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News, and of course, our bon vivant man around town in the theater scene. But first up, Miss Poppy.
Okay, it's time to talk about crawfish, because crawfish season is in full swing. And one of my favorite places to have crawfish on Thursdays, starting at 4 o'clock, is at Tracy's Original Irish Channel Bar. That's because Reggie Morris, who is brilliant with that boiling of the crawfish, he boils them. There he is with proprietor Jeffrey Carreras. And that's every Thursday throughout the whole crawfish season, 4 p.m. until they run out, and they're just $10 for one of those big trays.
That's a deal.
It's a great deal.
It's
so much fun to sit outside. And something new opened up this week. And you and I had talked previously about the Legacy Kitchen out in Metairie that opened. And the Legacy Kitchen Warehouse District just opened. And it opened at the Marriott Renaissance Art Hotel on Tchoupitoulas. That's the second location, brought to you by the same people who began New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company, and also the New Orleans Coffee and Beignet Company. So they've also got a New Orleans Coffee and Beignet that they've put in the hotel too.
And there's also one of these on Veterans the Old Shoney's,
That's right. Yeah. And so the food is great. There's something for everybody. Tuna tango salad, lobster rolls, steaks, fish, delicious hamburger, lemon icebox pie. But what's really wonderful is how philanthropic these people are about their business. They have partnered with Better Than Ezra Foundation member Tom Drummond. He's one of them who began that foundation. And guests at either location, not just for a short time, not just to celebrate the opening, from now on, when you get your guest check, there's a place where you can make a donation to the Better Than Ezra Foundation, and this is going to benefit the after-school music program at Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary in Holly Grove. Oh, it's a really great project, and so give generously and eat deliciously. Talk about eating deliciously. Oh, I have a new favorite spot in town, the St. Roch Market. Oh, we've been waiting so long for it to open. It dates back to 1875, and of course, it's really one of the last city markets still standing. It took 3 years and $3.7 million, but it is done. And I saw Mitch there, and we had a great laugh together about his great accomplishment, because he's really proud, and he should be. There are 13 businesses in there, ranging from, well, there's the bar right there, the Mayhawk.
Look at poppies.
The flowers were so beautiful, I was overwhelmed. There's wine by the bottle and by the glass, and craft cocktails there too. They've got all sorts of things that you can't find elsewhere, and freshly foraged produce, cold-pressed juices and salads. You can have raw oysters, homemade charcuterie, a unique Korean meets Creole fusion, sweets and pastries at the Sweet Spot, and Kevin Paydo's coffee roast coffee place that it's fresh, it's delicious. You had a cup, huh?
I did.
9 a.m. till 11 p.m.
every
day. Oh yeah, you can always head over there for anything, and it's really good. Run, don't walk.
It's not far from the corner, right on St. Clyde.
It's the new hot spot in town, I promise. And then I just want to ask everybody to come and meet me next Friday at noon at the Jazz Fest Cajun Cabin, because my good friend Dudley Passman is going to be boiling crawfish. We'll have plenty crawfish to eat. We'll squeeze the tails and pinch the tails and suck the heads and have some crawfish with Dudley and get the Jazz Fest off to a good start. And then I'll see you right after.
Okay, yes, looking forward to it. Take care. And we turn to Tom, and talk about multifaceted here. But we're so excited because you've got a very special performance this Sunday.
Yeah, we're doing a tribute to the late, great George Lewis, who was one of the most influential clarinetists ever to come out of the city. And I'm very excited because we have Sammy Rimington from England, who is one of George's most famous, proteges in a way, and I learned from George as a young kid.
Both of you, really?
We both did. And I met him. He was a young man visiting Preservation Hall. He gave me my first clarinet. So Sam and I go way back.
So this Sunday at 3 o'clock. But we also wanted to talk about, and we're going to be showing some excerpts from. You've been on our show with Song from My Father's, the book.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
But now you've got something else special.
Yeah, this is an
continuation.
enhanced ebook. It's called an e-loom edition, and it's the ebook, the text, narrative. Audio narrative, but all kinds of bells and whistles. You poke the screen and you get videos of George Lewis playing. You have 25 musical performances, 150 vintage photos, videos, interviews. It's like your own do-it-yourself documentary.
And that's you playing with George Lewis.
That's me at age 12 with George Lewis. We're going to be in that, and me a little bit later. And we're going to be in that same hall on Sunday at Preservation Hall.
Incredible.
For the
There's
George Lewis tribute.
Sammy,
It's me and Sammy.
Who's quite the fixture at the Jazz Fest as well.
Yes,
that
was taken at Jazz
time
Fest.
ago.
Yeah. That's me and my
Tell
dad.
us about this gentleman.
Well, that's my dad. That was his 96th birthday. He left us at age 97. And,
but he was the reason you were down there.
He was the one who first took me to
Preservation
Preservation Hall. Yeah, he was the one who got me interested and sort of encouraged me in a lot of ways.
And information, of course, as to how the book's going to be the e-loom at the end of April. Right?
Yeah, it should be available by the end of April. It's at the Apple App Store and also through the publisher Orsond and Company.
Wonderful.
So,
and if somebody wanted to contact you to play for them or whatever.
I'm at Tom Sancton at yahoo.com.
Okay,
and
that is easy enough.
Open for emails 24 hours a day.
That's very good. Now, you are so kind that tonight you're going to be performing for us. Set up, who is going to be with you tonight? Playing tonight for us on our stage.
It's Sammy Rimington. And myself on the clarinets. We have Seva Venet on the guitar, and Ben Jaffe, the managing editor of Preservation Hall, on the string bass. And we're very excited. He's playing this performance.
And what is the song that you're performing?
We're playing George's signature tune, George Lewis's signature tune, Burgundy Street Blues.
Okay, so we'll let Tommy get up and go do that. And now here we have Burgundy Street Blues. Take a look. Wonderful. Once again, Sunday afternoon at Preservation Hall. Don't miss it. And now it's time for our weekly Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are featuring two artists. First is Chris Roberts' Antio. This one is titled Albino, which is fabric applique, a process of layering fabrics that are cut, fused, and stitched together. And then this is The Death of Jimmy Doyle. Both are included in Phantom Limb Illustrated, new work by Chris Roberts' Antio, opening tomorrow evening with a reception starting at 6 p.m. at our gallery on Royal Street. Visit the website for more info. The second artist is Peter Max. Both artworks are paintings of photographs by New Orleans photographer Stephen Forster. Yay, Stephen, we're so excited. And we have a portrait of Ray Charles, version number 2, and a portrait of Fats Domino, version number one. If you are familiar with Forster's iconic photos, you can see how brilliant Max really captures his work. That is just gorgeous. These and more are included in The World According to Peter Max. Meet the artist himself at a reception next Thursday, that's April 23rd, at the Angela King Gallery. And more works from the show may be viewed on the Angela King website. And now, though, it is time to talk about your brand new book, sir. Congratulations. Is this your first novel?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Well, Different Springs, it is quite the saga. So I've asked you to please kind of give us a succinct explanation of what happens, because I know it's set in New Orleans, but really all over the world too, isn't it?
It is. Well, it begins in New Orleans, most of it takes place in New Orleans, and it ends in New Orleans, put it that way. And you also have a bit of Iran, you've got Morocco, you've got Spain. From some time past, you have Spain of 1,000 years ago, and then back to New Orleans again. A little bit of the Vatican in between. But New Orleans is where it's firmly based, because actually Spain and New Orleans have something in common, which is they're both, I still consider, frontier places. New Orleans is on the frontier, not in the sense of covered wagons going off into the distance, but rather culturally it lives. It's separate and apart from the U.S. It has its uniqueness.
Absolutely.
And it's always been that way, because it's, basically here in the South, you had more or less, WASP culture, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. New Orleans was mixed race, Catholic, and everybody in between, and everybody's here.
Right.
And they've maintained their uniqueness.
And the architecture, the Spanish architecture, of course, because of all those fires, so the quarter looks very Spanish. Tell us, you've got a book signing this weekend.
Yes, tomorrow at 6 at Octavia Books, and with food and wine and music.
And music, so you're performing for that too. Now tell us what you're playing tonight, and I know you're accompanied by a young lady too. Yes,
tonight it's one piece that I wrote, and it was titled, and lyrics are by Maria Jose Salmeron, who sings with me in that one.
Well, let's take a look. Thank you. Go over in here, Kevin Coleman.
Suspiros quedaron atrás y en una barca mis sueños decoloré con mis locuras de cobre. y la santa inocencia, mi barquita sin sueño se quedó.
Wonderful. And tomorrow, 6 p.m. at Octavia Books. Check it out. Really congratulate Kevin, and beautiful performance there. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Sharon Perlis, hello Sharon, gave us the names of 3 alleys in the quarter that you could have said: Exchange, Wilkinson, Pirates, or Père Antoine. Now, tonight's question. Name 3 songs recorded by Irma Thomas, one of which was also recorded by the Rolling Stones. Ooh. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a gift certificate for 2, courtesy of Vianne's Tea House, that's in Old Mandeville, offering their culinary and gourmet tea experience. Also tonight we have dish towels with the messages I, Nola, and Silence of the Labs from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. We also have a $50 gift card from Sunray Grill, only 6 minutes from the Crescent City Connection on Belle Chase Highway in Gretna. And you can visit WYES.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including the Catholic Bookstore's 70th anniversary celebration, that's tomorrow, and Music at a Camera's concert on the North Shore at St. Joseph Abbey, Maiden, Mother, and Muse, that's Sunday afternoon. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to view our program on our homepage. But now it's time for Mr. Allen.
Well, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's rock opera from the Old Testament, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, is playing at the Sanger this week. It's all about a dreamer with a coat of many colors, his father, his many brothers. Here's a little bit of what is in store for everyone.
Let's take a look.
We all dream a lot. Some are lucky, some are not. But if you think it, want it, dream it, then it's real.
So what sets this production apart from others is that the roles of the narrator and Joseph are played by real-life husband and wife, Diana DeGarmo and Ace Young. And it's an early work, if you're not familiar with it, by Tim Rice. Some of the lyrics are less than inspiring, but they do show glimmers of his great work to come in Evita and Chess, and his partnership with Elton John and Aida in The Lion King, and his work with Alan Menken in Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. But those of you who are familiar know that they repeat a lot of the same themes. And again, this is sort of indicative of what Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice were doing when they were first exploring the option of having a rock opera. The costumes are exceptional, and the role of the Pharaoh, by the way, played by Ryan Williams, is a real show stealer. Joseph continues through Sunday at the Sanger. Check it out as part of the Broadway Across America series. Meanwhile, the First Lady of New Orleans Theater, Janet Shea, is continuing in her weeks of play at the JPAS Teatro Ouigo. Epi Lederer, you may remember, is the lady with all the answers, also known as Ann Landers. This particular play recounts all the challenges that she endured when she herself became part of the focus of her own column when she dealt with a personal crisis. The role is a one-woman show, and it requires a lot of impeccable timing to move the character and the plot along. This particular play is written by playwright David Rambo. He used this device in which she would read letters and then, of course, react to the letters. That said, I would tell you that Janet was a little bit tentative in the show that I saw last week. She dropped her lines occasionally, but I would say that she stayed in the role most of the time, and perhaps it was a little bit of a distraction. But I have to tell you that I would give it a very qualified recommendation to see. They have another show going to be this weekend, and, of course, next weekend the show moves to the North Shore. Let's move on to Southern Rep. The latest production of what is a New Orleans music homage is called Boudin, and there are many of the music altars that they've asked people to put together. These are just 2 of them. It tells the story. It's a mashup of art, of storytelling, and music. Here's one by Cree McCree. It's an altar in homage to Ernie Cato and Gene Knight, Mr. Big Stuff. And there's one by Patty Spinelli. The Mardi Gras Indian looks good enough for a Super Sunday matinee. It stars Dorian Rush, Clint Johnson, Philip Manuel, Manuel, Josh Smith, to name a few people. And it'll also feature Jay Weigel as music director. Boudin plays through May the 17th at the Ashe Powerhouse Theater. Meanwhile, at the Stage Door Canteen at the National World War II Museum, we have On the Air, the live broadcast musical. And again, On the Air stars Troy Bichet, who's the only one who returns from the original On the Air iteration from a few years ago. Melba Tompkins is the role she plays. Also, Tom Hook is taking over the role that Bob Eads Jr. did. And they'll have Hugh Dat and his mystery band that'll be on the air playing through May the 31st. And last, but by no means least, if it's Jazz Fest time, then it's time for the annual Touro Synagogue Jazz Fest Shabbat. Again, new to New Orleans, cantor David Mintz will be looking forward to leading the Touro Choir, the Panorama Jazz Band, and special guest Ben Jaffe, who's the leader of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. We just saw him perform here in the studio. They also have a big annual event that you'll enjoy with patrons ahead of time at 6 o'clock. It begins at 7:30 for the general public. Get there early because the seats always are filled up. Again, that's the Jazz Fest Shabbat, and it will, for the first time ever, be streamed on the internet this year.
Very good. Thank you. And now time for our picks. Tom, quick pick.
I'm playing on Wednesday, April 22nd at the Palm Court Jazz Cafe with Lars Edegram's
Oh, great. We
band
love
and
Lars.
Topsy Chapman on the vocals.
Fantastic.
Should be fun.
Thank you. Poppy.
In honor of their grand reopening, the Southern Food and Beverage Museum is free all weekend long with great things going on.
That's a deal. Kevin.
Saturday, the 25th, a week from this Saturday, 8 p.m. Uptown is a Peña Flamenco, not free, but there's a flamenco performance there where I will be there, and there's a party afterwards.
Oh, fun. Alan.
The LPO is having its final performance of the year with Carlo Prieto on Sunday at Loyola with Harry Shearer narrating Peter and the Wolf. But for those that want to catch outdoors music, check out Swing in the Oaks at the Goldring Woldenberg Great Lawn. That'll be on Tuesday. And for those of you who want to go back indoors at Loyola, check out the Loyola Opera Scenes, a musical menagerie. It's done by Carol Rausch with also David Morlock directing. They'll have scenes from Madame Butterfly and Lock May, Romeo and Juliet, Babes in Toyland, a whole lot more.
Great. And now my picks, the Loyola Symphony Orchestra presents its season finale performance. That's tomorrow evening at Loyola. It's University Roussel Hall. It's free. The performance will include Capriccio Italienne by Tchaikovsky. And don't miss Dini's Seafood Pinchapalooza all day Sunday at their location on Lake Avenue in Bucktown. Music by Amanda Shaw and the Cute Guys, Vince Vance and the Valiants and others, face painting, and even a crawfish eating contest. Of course, visit Dini's.com for details. And Rick Barton, we love Rick Barton. He'll be reading excerpts from and sign his new novel, In the Wake of the Flagship. That's next Thursday, In the Wake of the Flagship. That's at the Garden District Bookshop at the Rink on Britannia. We congratulate him. Visit the bookstore's website to learn more. And WYES will offer a sneak peek and tasting of New Orleans cooking with Kevin Belton. It's the brand new cooking series that will premiere spring of 2016. This WYES sneak preview will be Saturday, May 16th with seatings at 10:30 and at 2:30 in the YES studios on Navarre near City Park. Tickets are $40 a person. You get to eat. It can be purchased by calling 486-5511 or go to our website. And now we leave you. And what is the song that we're going to be hearing?
This is called St. Philip Street Breakdown.
Okay, and thank you all so very much. And more of Tommy Sancton and his group. Good night.